What's up, everybody? I guess Ronan's running a little late. I don't know who else is going to be on here tonight. It's always a surprise on the guild. But what's up, everybody who's watching? We are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at the moment. So, how's everybody been? We have not. I know we haven't had a guild in a while. It's been about a month since we've had a meeting. So, yep, just trying to bring it back here, guys. So, no real topics yet, just wasting time until everybody gets on, or at least one person gets on. Speaking of which, let me check on them real quick, see where they're at. Let me see if Actor wants to get on. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's see here. Hey, yes, Brunert, what's up, man? So, yeah, let me see. Where is everybody? Let's see. There's Ronan. What's up, Ronan?
What's up? Been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been about a month.
Okay. Had to get your scheduling and everything in order.
Yep.
Nice. No, I understand that. That's fine. That is quite all right. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to forget. It just kind of what was that? I was a little busy with something, but I'm here.
All good, man.
I might step out in a tiny bit because dinner's almost ready. So I don't know if I'm actually I don't know how long until it's ready, but I'm gonna wait and see if anything. It shouldn't be too long, but I can still be around here if anything.
I got you.
But I'm noticing here now that we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube. Are we live on Twitch as well? Now that I didn't see.
We're supposed to be live on all three.
Oh,
Twitter,
nice.
Twitch, and YouTube.
Very nice. Let me see here. Oops, wrong button.
Yeah. I don't know about Twitter. I don't know how that works. So
well, how long ago was it that they rolled that out in order to go live on Twitter and whatnot?
It just came on the thing. I don't think we're live on Twitter at the moment.
All right.
I'm not seeing it anywhere. So I guess Melon's got to work some stuff out with them. I don't know. What up, Atra?
What up?
No, nothing. Just chilling. It's been a minute since we've done this, so
This is very true.
but you know, fresh algorithm maybe.
Yep.
We'll try this again.
Oh yeah,
What's up, Eric?
I'm seeing it here now actually on Twitter. It looks like we are live. Holy shit, this looks cool.
Very cool. I don't have a clue.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it. I don't
see it at all on my stream. So
yeah, I see it on my Twitter feed. So like,
okay,
we are live on Twitter, which is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome. We should be on Twitch as well.
I think I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking the other day. I'm like, yeah, let's try to multi-stream it. You know, why not? Try to catch. You got some writing in today. That's cool.
Getting some writing in. Nice. That's very productive. No, actually, it makes perfect sense to try and multi-stream it because it's just how you get a bigger reach. That's kind of why I decided I would do the multi-streaming thing on my part as well. Because
I thought it was because I hounded you for it.
Well, yeah, that too. I know you and Boorad hounded me for it, and then what happens? Boorad just disappears afterwards. It's like, okay,
right?
Thanks.
Have you heard from Boorad?
I haven't. I want to message him. So here was my theory. I thought that he had got off for a bit because he was participating in Lent. Because I know he's Catholic and everything. So I thought maybe one of the things he'd done for Lent was just basically drop social media.
Well, why you got attack the Catholics?
I'm not attacking Catholics. I'm just suggesting. The fuck. But
I haven't given anybody shit except for this motherfucker over here in like a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's true. We hadn't had anybody to give shit to. I mean,
it's just been us.
It's been each other, man. That's how it's been.
Jesus.
You went away. You left us alone, Ronan, with just each other.
I mean, you two were having fun, you know, covering what was it, the nostalgic like shows and movies and whatnot. I'm sure you guys were. We
do have to do another one of those.
Well, we
do, and we've got to switch it up just a little bit. The first one got copyright hit.
Oh no!
That's why I haven't posted any of the others.
Oh, that explains
like immediately got hit with a copyright. So I got to figure out how much to cut out and how to do that so I don't get hit. But yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I did watch the new Power Ranger movie.
Hold on. You did the 2017 one?
No, the today.
That's right. One. Yeah, I forgot the reunion.
One it's like an hour long. I gotta say, it's good. It's really good.
All right, who the hell here is playing? Somebody's playing a mobile game. I can hear it. I'm hearing it over my headphones. Somebody's playing a mobile game. I swear to God, I'm not going crazy.
I think you're going crazy, but I do need to turn my air conditioner off because I can hear it. Just a second.
All right. Now somebody's playing something. I know it. I hear those noises. They sound very, very familiar. Atra, are you perhaps playing a mobile game that I might know the name of?
I am playing WWE 2K23.
Okay, never mind then. Where am I hearing these noises from? This is weird. Fuck. That's muted. That's muted. That's muted. Okay, maybe I am going crazy. Imagine that.
So I got Resident Evil Resident Evil 8 for like $15 at Walmart.
Oh, you did?
I'm gonna do a knock run.
All right, good luck.
I don't need it.
This man over here trying to be Rambo.
Hmm? after that discussion we saw the other night with Rocky versus Danny.
Oh God, yes. So apparently, some people out there, Ronan, were sitting there talking and thought it was a great idea to put Daniel LaRusso against Rocky Balboa.
What the hell? Who thought? No, wait. Why?
I don't know.
What the hell?
Oh, we watched this whole thing too, and it was bad. it was very bad. Like that matchup was so one-sided.
I mean, like, yeah, LaRusso managed to win against another dude that knows karate, but we're talking a dude that boxes for a living. No.
What? Okay, so it put both of them in what it called their prime.
Right.
Okay, so Rocky from Rocky 4 against Danny from the last season of Cobra Kai.
Oh boy.
Oh,
That's just not even fair, man.
no, man, it's not. Danny stood a chance against Rocky from the first movie.
Yeah, I would say that.
You know, Rocky from the first movie. Maybe. That's if Rocky didn't get them hands on him.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the Power Ranger thing, it's good. I will say that I was surprised it's as good as it is, but at the same time, it could have been so much better if they would have just waited.
I should check it out. Actually, I really should.
Because that's all they would have had to do, and they could have had Jason.
Jeez.
But they didn't wait.
Here's the thing: it should have just been animated. Then they could have had all of them.
Right. And then they could have done it in any time period.
Yes.
But you got Billy as the leader,
right,
of this team. Zach is kind of the backup leader. Rocky, Cat, and Trini's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the movie, they do not have Trini's daughter. She can't use the Yellow Ranger powers.
Eric here. Only if Daniel started with a crane kick against Rocky 1 Rocky. I mean, maybe that crane kick is pretty OP.
I'm sorry, that crane kick is compared to a fucking uppercut to the jaw.
Look, Rocky from Rocky 1, and I'm talking very beginning of it, right? And we're talking Danny fully trained up, everything. That's the only time he stands even a chance against him. After Rocky 2, he don't stand a chance.
Right.
Right. Anytime after Rocky 2. Really.
No, I will say he stands the best chance. He stands the best chance at Rocky training right for the Clubber Lang fight, the first one. That's when he stands the best chance. Because Rocky ain't taking his training seriously.
Yeah. But
he has no.
Other than that, you know, Rocky puts them hands on him, it's over.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, it don't take but one hit. It really don't. Like nobody has ever hit Danny as hard as Rocky will. And nobody will be able to take that crane kick like Rocky will.
Drago could take it. Clubber Lang.
Okay, hold on now. If you're trying to put
fucking foot off.
If you're trying to put Danny against Drago now at that point, that's not even a fair fight. That's a slaughter, dude.
Now you put Johnny in there? Yeah, I can see Johnny.
Okay, yes, Johnny.
I can see Johnny last a little longer.
I'll pay money to see Johnny try and fight against Drago.
Not Drago.
Oh, okay. Well, Rocky, yeah.
Rocky, I can see him fighting Rocky to a point. Because Johnny will fight dirty. That's what Johnny will do.
I hate to say the one who has the best chance against Rocky is Miguel.
Oh,
yeah.
Because Miguel will fight fucking brutal. But Miguel basically fights like fucking Batman.
Yeah.
I was thinking more. I was thinking more either like Kreese or Terry Silver because I know those two can fight
No.
dirty as shit.
I mean, prime Kreese, young Kreese, sure.
Young Kreese, yeah.
Young Kreese, young Silver, sure. And I'm talking, maybe Karate Kid 1 Kreese,
Well, I mean, I think even Cobra Kai Kreese might last a chance because this was something
not unless
that
he's against like old Rocky or something. If he's against Rocky,
well, I mean, like the thing was that like my what was it? My friend and I when we were watching I think it was season 3, was it where Johnny is fighting Kreese inside of the dojo, and then that's when Danny shows up. I think that's season 3. Hell, what's up? And something that he picked out that I didn't realize until afterwards was that the way that Kreese was fighting Johnny during that scene was that he was kind of like using his weight to sort of, God, how was it that he described it? He said he was using his weight as a defensive measure. So even though Johnny seemed to be the one that's more advantageous because he's a little younger, so he has more like speed to him, the fact that like Kreese might be old, but he's using his weight to be very slow in his hits and his attacks. So it kind of seems as though that no matter what Johnny's trying to do, those hits that he's getting on him don't seem to work. I can't remember exactly how it was that he described it, but there's something about him using his weight to his advantage.
Okay, so here's the one problem with that entire analysis. The one problem with that analysis, Johnny's fucking half drunk all the fucking time for the first 3 seasons. He goes into that fight drunk.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, he goes.
Wait! Johnny going into this fight drunk?
I'm pretty sure.
He was. No, I don't think he was going into this fight drunk. Because
I said half drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Half
like
drunk?
He's almost always drinking.
Yeah,
especially for the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was like sober in this one night because this was the night where he met with what was her name again? I'm trying to remember what her name was. Allie, yeah. This was the night that
they were having champagne.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and if anybody else is drinking, he's drinking a beer.
Yep.
All right. I guess
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure he goes into that fight drinking.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, that's something my friend pointed out. So it's something that I started thinking about. I'm just saying.
Other thing about that also though that's still more factual. Johnny, just like Danny, quit training and quit doing shit. Now you can say that Johnny probably kept up more skill because he probably ended up in more than his own fair share of bar fights.
Right.
We can probably agree on that. Rocky versus Kreese, who has gone off and done something, but he still got punked by somebody who kept himself in shape and still wasn't fighting with Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Like Silver kept himself in shape and healthy. Rocky was a world championship fighter with probably at least 30 to 40 pounds on everybody, especially when he got old. And just as when he was going into old and training, they said that the almost exact quote is, "We're going to focus on horsepower, cast iron punches. Every time you hit this man, it's going to feel like he tried kissing the express train." That nobody in any of that show was ever classed as a world-class fighter. Nobody. They all won, maybe Mike Barnes, because I don't remember part 3 very well. I only ever watched it once. But nobody else that they really fought was hailed as some world-class fighter. Meanwhile, Rocky, from the second movie on, was a world heavyweight championship fighter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right,
you got to think about it. Like he beat Apollo Creed.
Yep.
Apollo Creed. We figured this up the other night. Like Apollo Creed beat Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier to get that title because they existed.
We assume. We assume,
but
But the one thing that does keep it though is that
they would have
that Apollo Creed is hailed as the world's best fighter in a world that has Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali, and George Foreman.
Right.
And Apollo Creed is held better than all of them. And Rocky had the strength of will alone to go 15 rounds with that individual in the first movie when he barely knew how to fight.
Yeah.
And he was also a leg breaker. You know, I think he was an enforcer for a loan shark going into that. So he was more than enough involved in street fights. And remember, if you remember Rocky V, for as much as that's, you know, people had hold opinions about that movie. I generally think it is on the weaker end of the spectrum. I still enjoy watching it. But that man was breaking out some street fight maneuvers and was punking Tommy Gunn. Till he backed off. Then Tommy jumped him from behind and kind of gave him, you know, rocked him a little bit. And as soon as Rocky came back, he beat the piss out of him.
Right.
Yep.
Episode 3.
But what we were also saying, you know, like Cobra Kai, they stand a chance because they have some judo training.
Yes.
You know, they do some judo training. So
right. All right, you know what? I'll say this. I'll just say this at the very least. Lenny McLean clears all of them. That's it. And you can't fucking argue with me on that.
Who?
Lenny McLean, the governor. I want to talk about fighters. Let's talk about Lenny McLean. That guy is just an absolute beast.
Who?
Wait, what? Oh my god!
Oh shit!
Why? Hello there, QBG. I had no idea we were gonna have Quarter Black here. That's amazing. All right. On that note, I'm gonna step out for now. Dinner's ready, so I'll be back in like a couple minutes.
Yeah. All right. What's up, Rob? Yeah.
Like, what is he talking about?
I have no clue.
I looked it up. Yeah. He was an English unlicensed boxer, bouncer, and bodyguard, businessman, and actor. He was known as the governor, the king of cobbles, and the hardest man in Britain.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say Tyson Fury beats the shit out of him.
Where the hell have I been? I have been at work. That's where I've been. They have had me working every Thursday night for the past month. Sometimes doubles. So. Like Monday, this past Monday, I got off of 14 days straight. So.
Because he's a hoe.
Yeah. For real. But I'm not a mad hoe. But yeah, watched the Power Ranger movie. It's pretty good. They let Billy and Zach shine in it, you know, which is odd thing that didn't really happen back in the 90s. You know, they didn't get to shine too much except for when it came to science and stuff. They didn't get to shine as fighters.
Yeah.
But Jason, Kimberly, and Tommy got taken out kind of quick because, you know, they didn't have them there, so they didn't use them out of costume.
Yeah.
Like I said, they could have waited. They should have waited to make it. It would have been better. Or, like you said, made it animated.
Yep.
But what I heard, so Hasbro pissed off Jason David Frank. I don't know what the deal is with Amy Jo Johnson. She just didn't want to do it or something like that. They said it was about money, but
they couldn't agree to terms.
They couldn't agree to terms.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got Austin St. John, who couldn't make it because he's stuck
Yeah.
until the court shit's over.
Yeah.
And then you got and it wasn't just them that got taken out of the fight. It was a bunch of other Rangers from other teams who just happened to get captured.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of nostalgia. A lot, like it's almost just an overwhelming amount of nostalgia. But at the same time, it feels like they're 30 years older doing this shit. You know, it feels like that. Like
yeah.
And you don't really, a little bit of blood, nothing major, but a little bit of blood, stuff like that. Billy and Zach kind of get to be sort of badasses in it.
Yeah.
Rocky's Rocky.
Yeah.
And Billy gets to drive the Megazord.
Yeah.
He's front and center in the Megazord.
That's odd.
Yeah, it looked weird. I mean, it didn't look right, but you got Billy and Zach in the Megazord, and then you got Rocky and Kat there. Which Kat was married to Tommy and all that stuff, so they were trying to do all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Aisha was on it, and Adam. But they were a part of SPR, not SPD, but SPR, whatever that is. I'm assuming it's a variant of Space Ranger. For Zeo. Yeah, but Aisha was.
I know there's Power Rangers SPD.
Yeah, there's Power Rangers. They're on Earth.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing though. But they got like on their shirts they got SPR. So, Space Power Ranger, what I assume it is. Yeah. But neither of them were Space Rangers, and Aisha wasn't even Zeo. In fact, Tanya got captured with her Zeo power. You see her on the little thing.
Well,
Tanya and Ashley got captured. I don't know most of them, most of the newer ones. So
yeah,
like I'm just trying to I recognize like the red Dino Ranger and the white Dino Ranger, but I don't remember anything outside of them. I couldn't tell you where they belong outside them, and they captured the black Space Ranger. So I don't remember. I think that was. I don't remember which one that one was, but they captured him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just I was trying to pause it and see which ones I could see, which ones I recognized, and there wasn't many that I recognized. But yeah. So it was pretty good though. I'll say that. I'd watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Not very many times again, but because then I'd start looking for flaws. When the nostalgia wears off, start looking for flaws and don't want to do that. It's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience score.
Yeah,
and an 80% from the critic score. So. Yeah, it's not one of those things I'm going to tear apart because it was done well. Mm-hmm. I don't like Trini's daughter. She's annoying to me. But other than that, no complaints really. Yeah. Other than them not, not having Austin St. John and Jason David Frank when they could have got him. In it. Instead, Hasbro had to piss him off because they tried to steal his White Dragon story to use. Yeah. And he recognized the story and he calls him out about it.
Uh-huh.
So that's where that came from. I heard that from the Bat in the Sun.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was mostly about. Hasbro trying to steal his shit, because if they would have gotten that out before his White Dragon movie, then he couldn't have released his White Dragon movie.
Uh-huh.
Because the copyright would have been for Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's one of those things that, I liked it. For what it was, I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so Kreese gets his ass whooped.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm just. All right, 233. Okay. Well, because I was going back, because I went back, to see if I was right or, prove myself right or wrong. I just wanted to remember. And, yeah, no, they were drinking. Not heavy, but they were at the party. And then Johnny basically beats Kreese's ass for like 2.5 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And then Kreese gets back into the fight because Johnny's distracted by trying to help Robbie because he yeeted him into a locker.
Yeah.
And then he comes up behind with a sigh and pops him in the back of the neck. And that's how he actually starts to make any kind of offense really against Johnny.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch it about. I go back and watch it every year before the new season comes out.
Well, same.
I rewatch the whole thing. So.
Oh yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Yep.
Keeps everything fresh.
Yes, it does. But now that I got the Karate Kid movies on DVD, so I may try to watch them first and then go watch it.
Uh-huh. You gonna watch the Hillary Swank one?
No. No. Not gonna happen there. What does that sound?
I'm playing a motherfucking game.
Okay. All right. I just heard some cheering. I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
Maybe what Ronan was talking about. But yeah, as far as it goes, though, like Netflix is real hit or miss with their stuff.
Uh-huh.
They'll either make a hit or they will piss everybody off before they do something. Watch what?
He wants you to watch.
Oh no, I'm not watching that. No. Like I'm not even. No, I'm not. I'm not watching the Hillary Swank movie. Not doing it. Not gonna happen there. That just ain't me. But luckily, I just bought the first three in a collection. Uh-huh. The fourth one wasn't even in it. Like, that movie was so bad, it killed the franchise for 30 years.
Well, not 30 years. You got to remember they did try to do it again with calling it the Karate Kid but learning kung fu.
That didn't help it none.
It
Will
It doesn't
Smith
make
behind
any
it did not help it at all.
No.
Nah, because I've seen it before. I'm not gonna watch it again. Like that movie, I can promise you, has not aged well enough in 30 years for me to watch it again. It is not one of those things where you get older and it gets better. No, that ain't it. I ain't about that life. I'll go play Fear and Hunger. I'll torture myself, but I am not going to submit myself to that. Oh, just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like having fun. I like having fun, guys, and forgetting that I'm in the real world for a little bit. But suspension of disbelief is one thing.
Yet we do, and yet you do a podcast, guild thing every week that involves remembering the real world.
Yes. You tag me on Twitter. What did you tag me on Twitter with? What? Why am I being tagged on Twitter?
$1 Million Baby.
Oh, Monsterverse. Okay. Cool. Is that a CGI movie? Is that Godzilla and King Kong Goes to Hell?
Oh, you mean where Space Godzilla wins? Not really.
The New Empire.
Space Godzilla becomes Satan.
I mean, that's what it is looking like. It's combining like Godzilla, Kong, and that just from the trailer. But I don't know. But it looks like there's another monkey on the throne. I don't understand.
It's Mighty Joe Young.
But that certainly looks interesting.
Does it? Does it?
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not, but at least I don't know if I'm gonna be the first to watch it or not. I might wait a month or two, see what people think of it, because I don't know about that one.
What did you know about it?
I don't know enough about it. Like, who's the extra monkey? I don't understand.
It's Mighty Joe Young. Because who else could it be?
Looks more like an orangutan.
Oh, then it's King Louie.
King Louie, yeah.
I want to be like you. Hills that walk like you.
We all know what she's looking to do next. Controllers has become the strategy here.
Yeah, as far as everything goes, though, should be back on Thursdays for now. Anyway, don't know. Depending on what happens this week. Depending on what happens.
Yep.
Improving a bit slippery for them there. There's the crucifix, nicely done. And that was an efficient form of offense for that move. Basement drop kick, what impact?
What?
I hear the wrestling game.
Scissors catch.
What's the nefarious movie?
Punching their way out of that one. Oh man, turned it into a statement. Deep. Slowly getting up, but she won't likely keep her winner.
Like, if it's a new movie that's out in theaters, I haven't seen it.
I don't see them getting up after that. That ball shaved it down without Austin at 2 a.m.
That's why I don't do review videos, because I don't go to the theater enough. I might review something on Netflix.
He might. But he never knows for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I might go watch Mario next week. I don't know.
I don't know if I really want to click on this, but I'm going to click on it. Oh, it's a horror movie.
If it's outside of like Evil Dead shit like that, I really don't care about horror movies. I'll watch an Evil Dead movie all day long. Some of the old campy stuff. Freddy, Jason.
Uh-huh.
That's cool. It's more like Silence of the Lambs. Okay. See, now I want to go watch the Hannibal series again. Nefarious is an independent movie based off a book series made by Christians.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean anything negative, though. That doesn't necessarily mean anything negative.
No, not normally. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it means like terrible, terrible Kevin Sorbo movies.
Kirk Cameron started that series, though.
Yeah. Like, yeah, those fucking Kirk Cameron movies. Well, that's something we need to do. We need to watch the fucking religious D&D movie like it came out in the 80s. We need to watch that and laugh at it. Oh, who was it? Who was in that? Shit. Who was it that was in that movie? Shit. I'll remember it when I'm not thinking about it.
What are you going to do?
Or I can go look it up on Google.
Don't forget, I'm not contract you tricked me into signing. I'm not worried about any legality. Is my enforcer. She's not going to let this go until you fix it.
One condition. It's like a your fire match in reverse.
I'm confused.
I do.
Let's see.
And I don't intend on this.
Tom Hanks.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Mazes and Monsters. Tom Hanks. Goofy ass movie. Oh shit.
Negative.
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 Oh. I think they actually did it as a plot of Riverdale. I wonder which one's worse.
Riverdale. 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 Oh, by the way, Riverdale. Oh, by the way, Riverdale.
In Riverdale.
Oh, by the way, there's an even worse show out there. Okay, it's called Riverdale.
Yeah.
letting you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the new one.
I mean, at least they made it stupidly dark for no reason, but at least it's more, tied with something versus fucking Riverdale, which is just about a ginger who's trying to get laid and can't make up his mind up.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that because I never read Archie. I just know he's ginger and he's got 2 chicks, and the whole Betty and Veronica trope comes from Riverdale.
Yeah. No, Riverdale is ridiculously stupid. It's hilarious how stupid it is. Oh, like I can't. It goes off the rails season 1, and it never finds them rails again. No, I don't.
On Friday?
I go tomorrow night. Yeah. All right. Who joining? Oh, Eric. What's up, Eric?
Hey, what's up? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, Nefarious. That was the last I heard because I was setting my computer everything up. Nefarious is kind of like Silence of the Lambs, where it's like a serial killer getting interviewed by, like FBI and whatnot.
Okay.
And he.
What's up, Royce?
He believes that he's a demon, so that's
Okay.
kind of where a lot of the Christianity comes from. So it's kind of that aspect of Silence of the Lambs.
I got it. That sounds more like Red Dragon. Versus
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Ronan back. Ronan, what's up?
What I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing much.
And by the way, my comment still stands from earlier where I said Tommy from Power Rangers beats Daniel on one leg with both of his arms tied around his back.
Now
Then
is that
after that, he gets his arms and his other leg back, and he beats the bricks off of Rocky for Rocky.
That's not a fair fight, though. Tommy has powers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is
He
that
doesn't-
with his Power Ranger
Tommy
powers?
don't need his Power
Tommy
Ranger
would need his powers.
crap out of
Tommy would need his powers to fight Rocky for Rocky.
All he's got to do is dodge Rocky once, and he's good.
He's gonna dodge Rocky.
Royce, you coming in here, man?
You have to remember, in Rocky 4, like he's fighting a dude who hits harder than Tyson. The character of Drago punches harder than the hardest of Tyson's punches.
Actually, no. You know what? Royce has a very good point here. Tommy, Jason David.
We're not talking about
fighter.
JDF. We're talking about Tommy.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that if anything, Tommy probably was like experienced in MMA.
Highly doubtful because the Power Rangers, especially the Power Rangers in general, very much sticks to like karate is the pinnacle of martial arts in their world. Unlike fucking Cobra Kai.
That's why the crossover action figures happened.
Oh man!
And let us remember, one of the only ones to solo fight and beat Goldar was not Tommy. It was fucking Jason.
True, I'll give you that.
And also, Jason, for all we can tell, continued to fight where Tommy became a professor.
Yeah.
Which means he loses some of his shit from just having good papers.
Hey! Just because he was a professor doesn't mean he might have, practiced a bit in his downtime.
I'm not saying that, but there's a difference between somebody who makes their living and life off of fighting versus someone who does it on the side.
Look, if you go watch that season of Power Rangers, Dino Thunder, where Tommy comes back, he consistently gets his ass kicked.
I'm talking peak
Tommy. All right, no, I'm fine. I'll admit to that because I actually grew up watching Dino Thunder. I'll admit to that.
Peak Tommy is like a $180 to a heavyweight boxer.
Right, I'm talking peak Tommy.
He's gonna get fucked up, son.
No, he's gonna be bouncing all around.
I will settle this right now. None of it matters because Jason wins, and this is me changing my stance from Tommy. Okay. One, I have met all the actors except for Amy Jo Johnson. That's one thing. Okay. So, two, and this is the number two thing. We were watching the old Power Rangers episodes. And one episode changed my mind.
Oh yeah, where Jason like reps out 3,000 bench presses like
in a day and still does Ranger shit. Yes.
he tries to break the record, and right when he's about to break 1,001 the first time, he gets interrupted. Goes back and does another. Tries to break
it the second time, gets interrupted.
Does it again, and that same afternoon, and finally manages to do it.
Yeah. After doing Power Ranger shit.
Jason beat that ass.
Jason was a badass.
Tommy can take a hit better. Royce, man, you got to come in here and argue it with us, man. Come on.
I think he's got a sick kid to probably deal with. That's why.
Yeah. I saw that.
No, yeah. Oh, I didn't notice this until now. I think we got like 4 or 5 concurrent viewers on the Twitter side, so that's pretty cool. Nice. This Twitter thing's kind of fun.
What we got? What now?
Like 4 or 5 viewers on the Twitter side of the stream.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Hello, all the Twitter people. I can't see you in the chat, so hello, Twitters.
You're telling me that Rocky could hit Tommy harder than any of the villains in his universe.
Tommy gets hit by most of the fucking villains in the universe in his fucking Ranger armor. And yes, again, you have to think like Rocky 4 is like we're getting into the ridiculous stakes of like power in Rocky 4. Like we're talking about
Captain. He fought Captain Russia in that movie.
I always thought that was Rocky.
You have to take into account. You have to take into account like Drago averages like over 1,000 pounds of pressure every punch in every hit.
No, you're right.
In the script itself, it describes that Drago's punches are bouncing off of Rocky. Mind you, he's at his leanest in Rocky 4.
Yeah, I forgot Rocky 4. I forgot that Rocky 4 was the one where he fought Dolph Lundgren. So
yes,
yeah. I mixed that one up with 3, so that was my bad. Because I haven't watched them in like 15 fucking years. So,
well, Rocky, that sounds like a you problem.
When Rocky can take a roundhouse kick.
Jason David Franks against Sylvester Stallone, sure. I'll give y'all that one. I'll give y'all that one. JDF
JDF wins.
You know, because like
Dolph Lundgren versus Jason David Frank. Lundgren is in his prime. So
this is one of the greatest things to ever happen at a convention. All right. So JDF is there, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is there. Same convention. They hate each other. Okay. They just.
I'll still take Bloodsport Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, not even close. Look, so Jean-Claude Van Damme gets in JDF's face, and he starts shit at this convention.
Oh boy!
JDF just puts him in a tie clinch. Just like puts him in the clinch and then leave. Puts him up against the wall and then walks away. Doesn't hurt the old man, but. It was funny as shit.
I mean, look, to be fair, Jean-Claude Van Damme, at least from my opinion, is kind of overhyped. If I'm being completely honest, he's awesome in Bloodsport.
Find a way to punch Goldar in the face and win. Willpower alone will let Rocky win that fight. Because it won against Apollo Creed, it won against Clubber Lang, it won against Drago. All right, willpower. That has the anime like willpower, power of friendship bullshit in Rocky. All right, and nobody can convince me that it doesn't.
Here's the other thing: is that Rocky will fight dirty. Again, like Tommy, the character of Tommy Gunn, played by Tommy Morrison, he was based off himself, and he was a legit fighter who was on the level of surpassing Tyson before his life went down.
So admittedly, believe it or not, that's my favorite Rocky, and it gets a lot of crap. But I love that street brawl with Tommy Gunn. Dude, that brawl at the end of Rocky 4 when he's just like, oh, you hit him, now hit me. And I was like, yeah, okay. But no. So first of all, if we're going Tommy Oliver versus Rocky, right, the Italian stallion, as it were, you have to factor in the universes that they're in. In the universes that they're in, okay, Tommy Oliver consistently has taken roundhouse kicks and punches from mutagenic beings that are super powered to superhuman levels, and he's getting back up. You've never seen the Italian stallion take a roundhouse kick from Goldar. I'm telling you right now, even outclassed in weight. You're telling me that Goldar didn't outweigh Tommy Oliver?
You're assuming that Goldar weighs more underneath his armor.
I'm sorry, wearing solid golden armor. What would make me think he's weighs more?
Solid gold armor.
Fuck me sideways. I'm wearing metal armor. Fuck it. That doesn't weigh more than a regular human. Are you fucking out of your fucking gold? No.
He's also a motherfucking alien. You cannot attribute alien gold to real gold.
Well, then what the fuck do I attribute it? Fine. Go find some alien fucking gold and weigh that shit for me so we can have an accurate representation of the bullshit that you're.
Lady Repulsa, because is that extravagant? She's like, I'm gonna put him in some leather and paint it gold.
Admittedly, Rita Repulsa could be a cheap bitch that went to the dollar store.
Exactly.
But we don't know that.
But no, we do know that she's a cheap bitch. We do know that she's a cheap bitch because look at who she employs to take over the world.
That was more to subjugation than anything. That wasn't like paying those guys.
It took Lord Zed showing up before shit started to turn around.
Well, yeah, and even Lord Zed got tired of that bitch's nonsense. No, back to the original point, though. I mean, if you look at the seasons that he was in, based off of, taking the morphing grid out of it, just as a regular human being. That doesn't go into when they started getting like the ninja forms or Power Rangers Zeo or Power Rangers Turbo, right? Or when he came back for the Forever Red, because he was mostly morphed during that time period. Yeah, I extensively watched it up until a few seasons after Dino Thunder. But even in Dino Thunder, there's super powered beings. These are things that have super strength. And in regular human form, even just the pawns that they were sending out would level a normal human. And we know this because we saw people who were like, oh, I'm good at martial arts. And because there are instances in the Power Rangers when people who think that they're good at like fighting and stuff like that, who are well-built dudes, get their tails handed to them by just the pawns of the universe, right? We've seen this in the Power Rangers. So if we're gonna break this down to an in-the-ring match, I'm sorry, Tommy Oliver takes it even just in a human form. Yeah, I understand you've got a powerhouse like Rocky when he's built at his most, but you cannot discount the fact that a hit from a powerhouse boxer isn't going to do jack to somebody who's used to getting punched by super powered beings, even just at the
okay, so he's used to getting punched once or twice. He's not used to getting wailed on by it and still going for 15 fucking rounds.
I can find the scene. You ain't going 15 rounds. Dude. Most boxing matches are over in 3.
I know most.
Some of them are over in 1, dude.
Rocky was 15.
We're talking about Rocky, who within the first 3 minutes of the round takes 60 plus punches from a guy who hits harder than Tyson, a guy who leveled and killed was damn near killing an exhibition fight. So therefore, holding back within a couple of rounds.
One second, guys. Y'all talking over each other.
The Power Rangers. Okay, so first of all, we have to talk about this. Is this, and this might change my opinion, is this strictly a boxing match, or is there martial arts and their fighting? Is all of it available to them.
If all of it's available, it goes even more to Rocky because Rocky fights fucking dirty. He was.
Wait. So
we got
Power Rangers. You're telling me when these guys are kicking dudes and launching human-sized putties off the ground into cars and shit, you're telling me they're literally kicking hard enough to take something that's made from putty, that's made from mud, and you can actually calculate that density, which is more than a human being. They're launching these things into cars and across distances
so
of.
Here's the immediate.
No, bullshit. No, you tell me the scene where Rocky punches a dude and launches his ass 20 feet. There's a strength equivalence here in the universes that's just not compatible.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. You keep making alien shit and comparing it and giving it earthen properties with no foundation for it. Also, let's take over the fact.
No, because you have to take the universes. If you're not going to say that they are at their peak in their universes, because we can't just put them in. Because if it's real world to real world, the closest comparison that we have is Jason David Frank when he was in his MMA days and he would fucking pummel the shit out of Rocky. But if we're going to go strictly universe to universe, okay, and yes, you can actually take, because we know the putties were made from mud, they were metamorphized from mud, and so you basically take the average height of a putty, their average build, compare that into what mud is, which is various different types of clays and dirts together mixed with water, and you end up with a certain chemical weight. You can do that. I do happen to know that 1 ton of dirt, just regular dirt, is around about a cubic yard, right? So establishing that about a cubic yard is 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot, it's 3 foot squared. Okay. Then you can basically work your way down. So to say 1 ton is a cubic yard. So let's just say that putties aren't made of a full cubic yard of just dirt. That doesn't even add in the water, which increases it exponentially. Right? You're talking to a guy who worked in dirt work for years, by the way. Okay. Once you add in the water factor, which is what putties are made from, because you have to have clay and water in order to make that putty style, that putty style clay that they're using. Once you add the water into the mixture, it increases it. Let's just remove that from the fact. Let's just say it's just straight clay, right? It's just straight clay. If you add that in, something that tall is still going to weigh multiple hundreds of pounds. We're not talking about 200. We're probably talking closer to 300, 400, 500, or even 600 pounds. If that's the case, and these Power Rangers, right, Tommy Oliver is able to roundhouse kick these things off of the ground, launch them into the air, or even flip them, or even punch them and make them fly back several feet. We're talking about magnitudes of strength that, comparing it to the universe, which Rocky is set in our universe with regular human strength, Rocky cannot compare.
Okay, Rocky. Okay, you're also forgetting the fact that Rocky yeeted Thunderlips, who was 300 pounds in his universe, lifted him up over the top rope and threw him into the stands.
How many times in one fight does that happen? Because in a fight with the Power Rangers,
you're also ignoring the fact that putties have one glaring weakness. Most of those early little simple villains have one glaring weakness. You hit a little spot and they're done.
Yeah.
And they were punking the putties 3 episodes in.
Generally, they didn't do that. You're ignoring the fact that they usually fought them for quite a while before the opening was presented, where they gathered themselves, collected themselves, and then were finally able to do it through, let's just face it, the power of fucking friendship.
We just were watching those like a few days ago. There's no generally a fucking about it. We just watched them a couple of weeks ago. They were punking them about 3 to 4 episodes in.
Yeah, I know. But when you get the Lord Zed ones, when you get the Lord Zed ones, though,
I let you talk.
The Lord Zed ones
all right.
I'm sorry. I can't accept the fact that when a Power Ranger can kick something that's probably 400, 500, or 600 pounds, multiple, tens of feet, you're going to say, and they do that regularly and multiple times in one fight, that
here's the
Rocky...
Here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and settle this right. The Power Rangers are not normal people. Once they get the powers, they are not normal anymore. They don't have normal strength levels anymore. Okay, period. They don't. So we're talking. This is the rules for the fight, right? 100% the rules for the fight. Tommy Oliver, with no morphing power, none of that. He cannot have any of his power. That is no morphing grid, no ninja power, nothing. Skill alone. Karate. That's what he has is karate. Tommy Oliver. Without any of his morphing power.
So you're saying just person to person, so we're more likening it to this universe.
Yes.
We're more likening it to this universe. You go back to the old school days of MMA.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, because karate is predominantly, a lot of karate is based on a lot of footwork and stuff like that. It would depend on the match. It really would. It would depend on the match. It would depend. Old school MMA, usually karate fighters got their asses pummeled by people who knew different forms. Boxers got their asses handed to them by people with similar forms, which is why jiu-jitsu kind of, Brazilian jiu-jitsu kind of reigns supremes, and then you get like Muay Thai and stuff like that because those were the most versatile.
Because nobody had fought like the likes of Royce Gracie at the time. It's why it came down to. It's why one of the last two was Royce and Ken Shamrock. If I remember right. Because he had shoot fighting and catch wrestling, so he was able to mix it up a little bit. Gracie.
So yeah, but I mean, the thing is though, is that it would be hard to compare the two styles together if we're gonna just separate them from the universe and say just normal person to normal person.
So
Rocky.
We'll
strength factor alone. If we're just normal people, strength factor alone, Rocky Marciano is a fucking grown man. Grown man, works out all the time. He's got fucking grown man strength. He has that. If we're saying that Tommy, this is before he gets Green Ranger powers, he's a fucking teenager that doesn't have any of that.
We will say Dr. Oliver, Tommy from Dino Thunder. That's probably peak Tommy. Not power wise. I'm saying like peak physical.
Tommy was probably Turbo.
No. I'd say physically.
Off.
Turbo was terrible, man. Turbo was
mid-20s. A man in his mid-20s isn't as good. Well, no, let's see. That would have been that was a while ago. So he'd have been mid-30s. Okay, maybe peak.
He wasn't into MMA yet. like the actor wasn't into MMA yet. So peak Tommy would have been Dr. Oliver or any time after that. Really. Probably, peak Tommy himself.
Okay, but you have to separate Jason David Frank from
Tommy
Oliver might be at his biggest. He might be at his biggest, but he's probably at his lowest form of fighting because he's got other things.
At his peak for fighting, it's Turbo. At his peak for fighting, it's Turbo.
Peak Tommy is Forever Red.
Yeah.
Physically fightingly capable is probably Forever Red.
Yeah.
No, because he had a few years off by that point in time. He wasn't in constant battle. He wasn't peak.
But I'm just saying.
The last time Tommy was peak was Turbo.
I'm still saying he was still probably training by that point because he's probably only going to school, getting his degree, and training. He's probably only doing.
It might have been.
I don't know. 10 years after
that was Forever Red, and I don't remember the dialogue in Forever Red so much. It's been a long time since I've seen Forever Red. That was Wild Force, right?
Yeah. So the reason why I say Forever Red is two things. One, Jason David Frank was big in that, and two, Tommy still had his long hair. when he shaved his hair, he went down.
Bullshit. No, okay.
His eyesight started getting worse.
Are we just? That's the problem. Okay, so we have to remove the more. The problem is the only time we can completely remove the morphing grid power out of the equation to give us a true is before he becomes the Green Ranger. And he is a teenager at that point. He at that point would get his ass stomped by Rocky because he doesn't have any power. He's a kid. He does not. He's supposedly a teenager in high school. I'm sorry, dude. Rocky's got a man's body. He has the testosterone of a late 20s, early 30s man. There's a strength differential there that you're just not going to overcome. Because the problem is at least what we saw on screen with Tommy, once he becomes the Green Ranger, we never see him fight removed from the power that I remember. Maybe in Dino Thunder. Well, before he gets his morphing powers, but no, he didn't really fight then though either, because that was a whole kind of a storyline, because up until that point, they didn't really realize that he was a Power Ranger and blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing, right? So it's really hard to compare if we're just saying Tommy. Obviously, we can make the comparisons to Jason, David, Frank.
I got the way to do it. This is the way we do it. Okay. So, first off is Tommy. We can say in Rocky's universe with no morphing grid powers whatsoever. So he's got none of the super strength, none of that in it. He's just got his skill. This is the first battle. Okay. First battle is boxing against Tommy's karate. Because Tommy never showed having MMA himself. He didn't.
No, you're right.
He has karate. So those two against each other.
Karate, or was that a Taekwondo?
Taekwondo is karate.
Well, yeah, it's a form. God, it's been a long time.
Taekwondo is Korean.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah.
So yeah. That match itself goes to Rocky. I mean, even if it's like
Dr.
I
agree.
Version,
I agree.
Rocky outweighs him. If it's boxing, whatever, the karate is not going to stand up to boxing.
No,
it's just not.
The only thing that would potentially help him in that, and God, he would have to he would have to get a lot of kicks in, because he is more. We all know, we all believe that Tommy is definitely more leg heavy than arm heavy, right? If he was agile enough to dodge the punches in Rocky's universe, he could wear him down over time, but I don't think so. In Rocky's universe, Rocky takes it.
Yes,
because there's just a weight class difference.
In the Power Rangers universe, the only way it works is if Rocky has access to the morphing grid. Okay, but he can't be Tommy in Tommy's universe. He can't do it.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
so
because
the one thing is though is that we have to remember that just when we say like Rocky's universe is much closer to our own, we have to remember that Rocky 4, the stakes are a little bit ridiculous, but Drago's punching with approximately 2,000 square per pound.
I'm thinking of Rocky 5. Tommy Gunn was Rocky 5, right?
Yeah, Tommy Gunn was Rocky 5.
That's right.
But we're talking Rocky 4. We're talking Rocky 4. He is punching with bite forces greater than a tiger. He's already superhuman. He's punching with a ridiculous level of power on average.
Now, that's just the force of a big dude, which can happen in the modern world.
No. It's not even Tyson. He's punching harder than Tyson.
They have him at supernatural levels in that.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long. I've only seen 4 once.
He killed Apollo Creed in 3 rounds. Okay, Apollo Creed is the best fighter in the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've only seen 4 once, and it was a long time ago.
If we just go with this right here, and mind you, this is Google, but this is just right here on Google. Mike Tyson's estimated punch power was 600 joules, 12 somewhere in there, in around 600 joules.
Oh, fuck! Getting hit by that.
Drago averages, his average punch power is 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch.
Jesus.
So what does that turn into joules?
Oh, let's see.
Well, you'd have to factor in the human fist, roughly his human fist, figure out the square inch of an average boxer's human fist, and then type that in and figure out the joule power. Because it's 2,000 psi per square inch, right? 2,000 psi per square inch.
Yes.
Divided by the surface area of the average boxers. Because we would just take the average. Well, maybe no, because Drago is big, so maybe the largest boxer's fist.
So because the problem with we'd have to scale it, because they keep Rocky is not Sylvester Stallone's height. Sly's a little bit on the shorter side. I think Rocky is because like Drago as a character is like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren's like between like 6'2" and 6'4".
He's a big dude. No, and
But
like I
what-
said,
what-
I mean like I say, the argument here is, and this is where look, it's kind of like what Death Battle's been doing for fucking 12 years now, or whatever.
God,
Yeah.
Death Battle, dude. Jesus.
No, I fucking love that show. Fuck off.
I have to say this about Death Battle. Death Battle lost all respect for me when in the Captain America versus Batman fight. They used a feat attributed to 616 Cap that was actually done by Ultimate Captain America.
And that there you got to know their rules on that. That might have been one of their older. That was one of their older ones. And they actually, and what they said is that they realized that some of their matchups back in the day, that the rules that they had established weren't good, and they actually changed their rules after that to make it. But so, and they did a whole thing about how the rule changes were happening because they realized the problem in how they were formulating their stuff. I like it because it's just fucking fun. We're sitting here arguing who would fucking win between Tommy Oliver and Rocky.
Yes,
and the fact of the matter is these guys, these guys ran a channel and have run a channel successfully for years. That they actually take the time to do what I just told you. Take the surface area of the average large boxer's fist, divide that by the PSI force and then convert that into joule energy. And then overall, you'll get the joule energy so we could compare that to Tyson's fist, right?
Right, yeah. They're putting actual science behind it.
You would basically take Tyson's fist, right? Let's just say, because Tyson's a big dude, and take and try to just figure out how much PSI. So if Tyson calculates out at 600 or 600
Okay,
joules.
I found his PSI.
Yeah, what's his PSI?
So it could punch up to 1800 PSI.
Okay, so on the top end, so Drago
Averages.
is even above that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Average is 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's just barely superhuman. I mean, it's human plus what, 25%? It's peak human plus 25%. Let me rephrase that. But like I said, it's the only way to scale this. The only way to scale this fight properly is one, because if you're talking about taking the characters themselves at their peak, it's not really a fair matchup. Because you can do what Darkish did, and you can say, okay, if it's in the Power Rangers universe, Rocky loses because they're fucking Power Ranger. If it's in Rocky's universe, Tommy Oliver loses. But again, you're taking away the things that we know those characters for. So if you're going to strip them away of their stuff, it's like, well, okay, so we take Tommy's morphing power away and we say, okay, well, we take Rocky's boxing training away. And I'm not saying that we should do that for the comparison, but what I'm saying, it's hard to compare things like this from two totally separate.
This is the most fucking ridiculous argument I've ever heard. I love it.
No, fuck off.
If we take away, it still kind of leans to Rocky because if we do that, he has a lot of street experience. So
he does. He was a street brawler. He does have the weight, but
he has the experience.
But without the training and stuff like that, though, he beefed up with all that boxing training, and so that drops the weight class a little, maybe not quite 1-to-1.
Well, if you look at it, he was at his leanest when he fought Drago. He was at his smallest fighting Drago. He was at his biggest in Rocky 2 to 5. It was where he was at his biggest. So Rocky at his leanest,
I think 5. He was pretty beefy. Well, because he wasn't.
He got back to 3. I think the size of 3 and 5.
Yeah.
But he was at his leanest in 4. Tank and being and Drago himself again. We
No.
discussed
And
he is
like I
agnostic.
said, I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm not saying that Rocky isn't a capable fighter. What I'm saying though is that if we're going to make the comparison, then we have to sit down and say, what do we take away from each fighter, because the universes just are not comparable. And I came into this argument assuming we're just going to leave them with their full set outside of the full like Power Rangers like morph, right? Like Tommy can't morph, he can't call his weapons, he can't like it's just, but it is peak Tommy, which you do still have to factor in the morphing energy that's flowing through him. And I came into it that way.
But what we can do is take into this. We can bring in some actual real world stuff into this though, and how hard Dolph Lundgren can punch. During the sparring and fighting scenes for Rocky IV.
Yeah.
Sly had Dolph Lundgren hit him in the chest. He said, "Go, just go." Lundgren hit him so hard in the chest, it shifted his heart.
Yeah. No, it's and like I said, just doing the basic comparison that I did with like the putties and things like that, and the ability for a Power Ranger to kick something that's 500 or 600 pounds, multiple tens of feet, is a real world comparison.
Yes, but you're also looking at something that has magic involved, and magic and everything, as we often know, breaks physics. Is one of the biggest things that takes away that separates.
But dirt has no magic when it comes to the weight of dirt.
No, but here's the thing.
I literally stripped all of the magic away. I said, if we're just taking the putties, and let's say, and they would have to be wet dirt. They would have to be wet dirt. And I even said, let's take the water out of it, which lightens them even more. A cubic yard of dirt is 1 ton of dirt.
The magic out of it. You cannot take the magic out of it because they are still magically.
You just took the fucking power away from fucking Tommy, though. Hold on. Your argument doesn't make any sense because you're cherry picking the fucking factors that you want to matter. You're cherry picking all of this
because I can't finish the sentence because you want to sit there and shout.
This argument doesn't make fucking sense. Okay. Let's stop this now. We're stopping this one now, guys. I'm saying it now. This is my call. I'm saying Rocky wins in his universe. Tommy wins in his, because Tommy in his universe is superhuman. Fuck you, hell. What
do you say? What do you say?
Well, okay, Hale wants to jump in with Batman. Look, I'll jump in with fucking Dr. Manhattan and the
show. No, fuck that shit. We're not having that argument right now. Okay. So
I'll jump in with fucking Silver Surfer.
The fact is, these are the facts here. A Power Ranger has power. They have more power than a normal person does, period, in their own universe, right? So the only time that you could say take Tommy where he doesn't have any access to the morphing grid, whatever, and I'm not talking about his teenage self, Dr. Oliver had no access to, right before Dino Thunder, he had no access to the morphing grid whatsoever, period. No morphing power. He couldn't turn into Zeo at the time, nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's peak Tommy for this argument here. That's the only time that you could actually compare their fighting abilities within the Power Rangers universe. Okay.
Potentially, but I still make the argument it's not peak Tommy because you're stripping away.
Yeah. Well,
but that's the problem. It's like, okay, so let's take
normal Tommy, right?
I don't like.
I could also make the argument that Lord Zed could turn Rocky into a monster.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could make that argument too, but then this is part of the problem with a lot of the fan debates is it comes down to, well, let's take this away from this character and take this, but let's not take this away from this character. And I don't like that. And that's why the conversations devolve the way that they devolve, right? Yeah. It's, you can't do that. And it's like, okay, but what I'm saying is I'm using this real world thing, or you're using this real world thing, or whatever. But in order that's where the fan matchups get completely fucked. Like I said,
and this one is a completely ridiculous ass argument anyway. It
I
really is.
don't even know how the fuck you guys got on it. The reason that I fucking jumped in
I don't
was
either.
because
That's
you guys
the
were
bad
having this, and I was like, oh no.
I'm blaming Eric. Eric is the one being quiet right now, and he brought it up.
I started this whole debacle.
You started this
I went
shit.
into the YouTube chat and started the whole debacle, and I got ignored. And then I came in here.
Okay,
and I ran my
okay.
mouth
So who would be a more apt matchup for these two from different universes, right?
Ultimate Captain America or Deathstroke.
I think Captain America would be a more apt matchup for.
I specified Ultimate Captain America, not 616.
Yeah. So that'd be Rocky. That'd be a Rocky one.
Against Deathstroke.
No, Ultimate Captain America would be a Power Ranger one. Ultimate Cap is superhuman.
Yeah, he's
flat superhuman.
He's Power Ranger level.
Okay. So then that would be more of the fight there. And I think as far as, I mean, because we guys, if I remember correctly, Ultimate Cap is still super smart.
Yes.
And I mean, he blitzes Tommy. Ultimate Cap blitzes Tommy. It's just if we're not taking anything away, minus, but we're not obviously weapons. We'll take away weapons, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So we'll take away weapons in the suits. So Tommy can't morph, and it's just
actually,
dudes they're in the boxing ring. Tommy walks into a gym, gets some training in. He's got his boxing gloves on. He's got his fucking kicking shit on, right? And Cap walks in. Hey man, I could use a sparring partner, right? So the dudes meet each other in a gym. They're not gonna, they go at it. I think Cap takes it.
You could still actually have them with their armor because now while it's ultimate with their stuff. While it's still ultimate, the version of it, Ultimate Captain America does with an adamantium shield what Cap does with his vibranium steel alloy shield in the mainstream universe, and he still bounces that fucker around.
But there's a massive strength difference there. They're like between Ultimate Cap and regular Cap. Regular Cap maxes out at about 800 pounds, while Ultimate Cap has about 2 tons of strength. So
that does put him on Power Ranger scale.
He's comparable to Power Ranger in their
that
armor.
Does. I mean, man, that would be hard.
So
that one would be hard. I'm just going body for body, but if we're giving him everything, I actually.
Depends on which form Tommy has.
If you go, because if you remember, Crazy, from this is why I stopped really trusting Death Battle, because I started finding just very many instances of them misappropriating feats to incorrectly.
Well, everybody's gonna fucking do that. Like there are things I've seen people bitch at those guys for things. I watch the show because it's pretty fucking fun, and it's not to be taken as like crazy fucking serial. Like it's celebrity deathmatch. You guys remember that shit from back in the day?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the reason why I stopped following out is because they went that far with it and didn't have like celebrity deathmatch fun and lack of seriousness with it. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna go to this level, you shouldn't just blatantly see and use a panel, like especially because they went out of their way to say how they had researchers and everything. If those you really can't miss the fact that when you're using a feat for Ultimate Captain America, you're missing the one thing: he don't have his goddamn wings on his hat. Like, bruh, that's one of the simplest things. That Ultimate Captain America doesn't have the wings on his cowl that 616 does. But the feat that they did was when when Ultimate Cap downs the Hulk by punching him in the balls. Now, mind you, it's still Ultimate Hulk, but it's still also the motherfucking Hulk.
No, and like I say, when it came to, depending on which episode that was, if that was pre their rule change, because again they did do a rule change, and the rule change essentially was that they would that they would do their best to stick with just the main timeline characters at their peak, and the only time that they would pull from other sources if there was supporting evidence in the main timeline that would say, okay, they could actually pull this feat off. They radically altered their rules to do that. So I don't know if that fight, because they haven't done a Captain America fight in years. And the last ones that I remember were pre-rule change. And when they did the rule change,
Mhm.
that changed a lot of things because those guys get so much shit for so much stuff. And like I said, yes, they have a team of researchers, but not everybody is going to know every fucking thing. One, and two, even with the researchers. So, well, but how many years have you had to look into this, to know this stuff? They have what? Couple of weeks, couple of months to put all this together, then write a storyboard, then pull off the animation. And by the way, once the research team is done, here you go, here it is, and then they have to move on. They're on a timeline. And that's one of the things. It's like when you turn it into a job, there are some things that you kind of look at and you have to go, hey, you got to give them a little bit here and there. No, there are some egregious ones. There are some egregious ones that I'm just like, what the fuck? Like the Hulk versus Doomsday one, I'm still a little iffy about. Like Hulk but again, that was pre-rule change. Right?
I don't remember who won, if it was Doomsday or Hulk. If it's
it
the one thing,
I think it was Doomsday, and their reasoning is because they said that Doomsday could overtax the Hulk's healing ability, but that wasn't from a mainline story, because back then they were trying to make an analogous of like the whole character, and it was pissing a lot of people off. And that's when they said, okay, main timeline. If there's supporting evidence in the main timeline that says they could pull off this feat from either a television show or a Elseworld or an alternate comic or whatever, it's still, but yeah, I remember the announcement when they made the rule change, because my daughter still loves to watch Death Battle with me.
So with that, it depends. Like, I don't remember the episode. Now, the one thing I have about any versus Hulk fight is that whenever he fights somebody on his level strength-wise, 90% of the time, those characters who he's fighting suddenly don't fight as fast as they normally would. Because Hulk, for as fast as he is physically, he does not have super speed. He doesn't move like Quicksilver. He doesn't move like Gladiator. He doesn't move like Silver Surfer. The likes of, and the Thor, like, and I'm not, and yes, I am one of the people who were very much pro Thor back in the day. Thor now would lose every single fight. But we have to remember, when it comes to Doomsday, and again, I don't remember the fight, so I can't remember everything, but depending on how they were pulling it from, even if they were pulling for Doomsday things that were outside of the quote-unquote canon, it still would have been canon to Doomsday, because until Infinite Crisis, there was only one timeline. There wasn't a multiverse. There were stories that things were that happened, like For Want of a Nail, but there wasn't an actual multiverse. That did not get brought back into DC until Infinite Crisis happened, and then all those kind of Elseworlds, like For Want of a Nail, where Superman was raised by the Amish, that became its own universe.
Living
but
that
those things didn't actually. Yes, it was basically what Mom and Pa can't. They run over a nail instead of going to town, and so Amish people find Superman instead of them. But where Doomsday fights with Superman, they fight at super speed the entire fight until it gets to Metropolis and they end up in the main street. They're super speeding that entire fight, and that is well beyond the speed that Hulk should ever be capable of, and has never really been capable of when I was bothering to read with Marvel, which ends at Fear itself. That's where I'm like, my knowledge becomes real spotty after Fear itself, and even then, it's not cohesive.
Eric, no, we're not having that one right now. No, stop.
And so here's where I'm at, man. So here's where I'm at.
That was just a question for Hale, not for anybody else.
Oh god. What about against Goku? No. Well, and here's the thing. And people might get mad about this, but I don't even really like Superman so much as a character. I think he's really misunderstood in the modern day. I've grown to like Superman more as an adult. But Superman as a character, just knowing how the fuck powerful he is, in the Superman Goku fight, like giving it to Superman,
I gotta go.
they made the right call on that one, because and then because they did a second one and they explained, they're like, you're putting somebody who constantly breaks his limits up against somebody who has no limits.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're like, now, and it's just one of those fucking things. I mean,
See, one of the things is that every time that conversation comes up, people like to constantly point out, oh, well, Superman's weak to magic. So, every time Superman's put up against magic, he does, it seems like he has limits there.
And how often does Goku employ magic?
Zero.
Like,
so in this scenario, it's like it's a moot point.
I fucking checked, Goku's not going Avada Kedavra. Like, he's not like, that's not. It's the Kamehameha. Not, I mean, they both end in very good syllables, but it like.
God.
I never wanted to think about that, but Harry Potter could pwn Superman. Harry Potter fucking pwned Superman.
Okay. So Superman beats him because speed.
Right.
But I did want to say something about the.
But Superman would. But would Superman go for the? Well, no, but yeah, no, but the joke back into the Goku Superman fight though is like, again,
so I will say this, because I did want to respond to you, because I came from someone who used to not like Superman either. I was someone, I liked Wonder Woman, and I'm like, and didn't like Superman. I love old Wonder Woman, George Perez, even in the Volume 3 with Gail Simone writing her. But when I actually started reading Superman comics, I started to see that, damn, Clark ain't really much of a Boy Scout. Like, there's an issue, I always remember it. When Lex Luthor gets, because everyone, they think of Superman as like the Boy Scout, he always has his shit together and everything. When Lex Luthor in the comics gets elected as president of the United States, Superman is so pissed off. He flies a galaxy away to punch through a dead moon out of fear, out of sheer anger and frustration. When he goes and shakes Lex Luthor's hand because Lex Luthor is baiting him into doing it, hoping he'll show his ass, Superman smiling, shake his hand like, congratulations, thought bubble this goddamn motherfucker. I want to punch his goddamn fucking head in.
Well,
that's his persona, because the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there. I'll just say this real quick. What Superman runs off of, it's always in the back of his head. The U.S. government is at any moment's notice of Superman seeming to go too rogue where he can't be brought back or put down, they're ready to nuke Metropolis. Amanda Waller created got a 19-year-old young army private, injected him and experimented on him with Doomsday DNA to turn him into a Doomsday whose all of his spikes were kryptonite.
No, and the biggest thing that the one thing that a lot of people misinterpret about Superman is, as it grew, we're not talking like OG like 1930s Superman. We're talking as it grew. It was the story of essentially the man with the power of a god who chose not to exercise that on human beings. He chose to wield that power to protect the earth instead of rule over it. And that's where the philosophy of Superman always made me more interested. The feats, the things like that, him getting angry and flying off, he's human. He's going to get angry. He's going to fly off. Oh, wow, I really want to punch Lex Luthor in the head. Yes, but at his core, that was Superman. He knew he could do something. He had the power to do it. Who the fuck was going to stand up against him?
Green Lantern.
But he didn't. Well, potentially.
There's no potential about it. Green Lantern.
No argument.
If I recall correctly, if I recall correctly, one of the only ones that I think Superman said he really wouldn't want to come up to in a fight was John Jones, wasn't it?
John Jones, because he's a psychic.
Yeah, but also could he's not exactly a pushover, but no, and I mean he's like, well, Yeah, okay, kryptonite.
Yeah, the one.
Okay,
Magic.
no.
Yeah, no,
This-
Fucking
this is
fire,
probably one of
kryptonite,
the
magic,
greatest-
like fucking
This is
all
one
of
of
the
the
fucking
greatest
weaknesses.
Batman
Like, yes, of course.
This
Batman,
is one of the greatest
human,
Batman
like
quotes
the
ever.
mother, like come the fuck
All right.
on.
No. Batman gets his shit pushed in by Superman all the time.
Yeah. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying this is one of the greatest Batman quotes ever, but about Superman and Martian Manhunter.
God, it's got to be
For the one in Metropolis, I've got $1 million rock. For you, I just need a 5-cent pack of matches.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, he also worked on that and got and was able to somewhat overcome that a little bit as the comics went on.
It was
Well,
so
this was from
That was the
Weird
that
movie.
was
that's
Justice
from
League.
that's from an
New
Elseworld.
Frontier.
That's from an
New
Elseworld.
Frontier.
Yeah,
Yes,
New Frontier.
that's from
yeah,
an
the New
Elseworld.
Frontier. I have that movie.
Yep.
It's not bad. It's not bad. They're trying to harken back to the old school. They didn't do a good job, but it's all right.
But
Like I said, I've always been an animation and TV guy,
Mhm.
and like I said, when it comes to a lot of I've hung around a lot of comic book people in my life, picking them up and reading them. Didn't have the money when I was a kid, and when I finally did have the money, I had 4 kids. So a lot of the knowledge that I have, just so everybody knows, a lot of the knowledge that I have when it comes to superheroes is learned similarly to how you would like learn like history or learn like world history and stuff like that. Because I research it like that. I watch videos on it. I love superheroes. I listen to, well, used to anyway, before Marvel and DC really pissed me the fuck off. Which I think all of us can somewhat agree. But yeah, as far as the comics go, like I've always said, I'm not really, the way that I phrased it to people so that they wouldn't mistake me for trying to be like, oh, like I'm like the biggest comic book nerd. No, I'm more of a comic book student than I am a comic book fan, because the way that I look at the superheroes between Marvel and DC is more from like a research thing, because I find it fun to research them and dig into them. Whereas a diehard fan could 100% put me in my place constantly. That doesn't mean there aren't some things here and there when I point out and I'm like, but what about this thing? And some diehard fans that I know are like, actually, it's a good point. I get like 1 out of every 10, right? But just so you guys know, so like there are things in all of that and I will never fucking try to pretend that I know more than people who have picked up the books and been reading it for years. I will, however, do my best if I really fucking feel something and I really think it with what I know. I won't back down from it until I know that, all right, now you got me there, because like you've read the fucking books. But for the most part, that's where I'm at. So just so we all know like where I'm at, like we're level on the playing field and all that, because I don't want you guys to I don't want to come across to anybody here that like, oh, I've read the book. No, because I haven't, right? I've
I'm the
totally
same way.
different research side, and I want to full send, like that's where I'm at, because I don't want somebody to mistake where I'm coming from, because I feel that would be disingenuous to the debate where they're like, how do you not know this? Well, because I'm an idiot and you're arguing against an idiot.
All right, Royce,
that's where
I'm
I'm
gonna
at
tell
with
you
DC. I-
that's all cool and everything, because like me and Atcher, we argue for fun. Okay, we will get into an argument for fun about something that is not even related to what we're talking about, just to argue. Okay, it happens a lot. It used to happen a lot more.
Yes.
But
Dude, I just came on and argued with him about Tommy Oliver versus fucking
right? I mean, that's a once in a lifetime argument.
Yeah.
like.
So the one thing I want to say to Craig, and see, what you were saying there is exactly what I don't fault you for having, your thoughts about Superman. Like I don't like it's because one of my favorite characters is one of the most polarizing characters in the X-Men, and that's Cyclops. Love Cyclops.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm
hate
sorry.
Wolverine.
I'm sorry.
My 2 favorites have always been, from what I know, and again, from what I know of the character, all you need to know is Dr. Manhattan. Dude, I know about Dr. Manhattan. Okay, like
Dr.
fucking.
Manhattan is nothing more than Alan Moore's shit out turd combination
okay.
of
Hey,
brain hack and
Atcher,
Silver Surfer.
I got this. Shut the fuck up, hell.
No,
That's all you gotta do.
my two favorite X-Men have always been Bishop and Gambit. I like their
Oh,
power
I'm
sets.
sorry.
I like their power sets. I like their attitudes. In fact, I have a dog fucking named Bishop because Bishop is one of my favorite actors. Oh, Bishop and Gambit. Those have always been my
Here's
two.
where I get
Man, and I felt so fucking let down when they completely just eviscerated his character in that fucking Wolverine movie.
yeah.
Wolverine's my
Here's
favorite.
where I get kicked.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Eric.
Here's where I get kicked. My two favorite X-Men are Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I actually give you props for that. Nightcrawler's cool.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being a fan of Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde.
Dude.
Nightcrawler is one of my favorites just because of the fact that he happens to be a Christian. But my absolute favorite's Wolverine, mainly because when I was growing up, I was a short little angry son of a bitch. So I related way too much to him like that.
I don't know if a lot of people feel the same way that I do, but one of my favorite iterations of X-Men was X-Men Evolution. Or no, Wolverine and the X-Men. I'm sorry. Wolverine and the X-Men was, and it only got one season, maybe 2 seasons. I can't remember.
I think it's 2.
Is it 2?
2 seasons.
And they totally set it up for a third. And that was I loved that fucking show. I thought that was some of the best X-Men animation and storytelling that I had seen. And I was a fucking dad by the time I saw it. And I was like, holy shit, this is good. But no, Wolverine and the X-Men was definitely top tier. My favorite rogue, though, is definitely from X-Men Evolution. That's my favorite rogue.
Goth Rogue. Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know what's actually really good is the X-Men anime. That's actually really good.
I have heard from people that that's good.
Every character is actually showed respect in that show.
The X-Men one is, the Wolverine one is not.
Okay, never mind.
I've
actually watched the Wolverine
I've only
anime.
heard of the Wolverine one. I haven't heard of the.
Yeah, there's an
actually
X-Men one and there's a
anime.
Wolverine one that's separate.
The actual
There's an
X-Men
Avengers one
anime
too.
Yep.
is really good. It's you have Beast, you've got Cyclops, Emma Frost, Armor, Wolverine, Professor Xavier's in it, but it's more around the Astonishing team. But it's post Jean's death from Dark Phoenix. It's its own little thing. The main villain is an amalgamation of Legion, David Hollard, Professor Xavier's son, and its own like unique thing. But it's still it's its own thing. You know, they take some liberties, but they show respect to the source material, and they let Cyclops actually be Cyclops and fuck people up with his optic blast. Because everyone thinks that like Wolverine can just walk through him. Those fights in the comics go. Cyclops drops his sunglasses and Wolverine is not in front of him anymore.
Gentlemen, I got to go because 4:00 comes really early in the morning.
Later.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
Later, Royce.
No, but I had to
Later,
get
Royce.
on. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry, I gotta leave. I'm sorry to come in, shout for a little bit, and then bounce. I apologize.
We expect about an hour, man.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
It was. I like these fucking dude. Honestly, you should totally come up with like some thumbnail shit and be like, all right, here's what we're arguing: this character versus this character,
You should have been
start doing like fan debates and shit. It'd be great.
Actually, before you do go, Royce, I want to ask you because I know you watched a lot of Death Battle. Did you watch the Pokemon versus Digimon one?
Yeah.
What did you think of that one?
Fuck yeah, I'm a Digimon guy. I don't give a shit about stats on that one. Fuck those little Pokemon bastards.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
No, and okay. And here is, and they did it because it was the childhood fan thing, but they did say something at the end. They're like, look, the problem with that matchup is it was unfair from the beginning.
Well, no, I'm not going to deny that. I get that the Digimons were fucking powerful. I get that. Just the one aspect of it that really pissed me off so much was the fact that what was the character's name from the Digimon side? It was Tai. Right. Ty immediately goes after the trainer, like kicks him in the shin, and the trainer didn't expect it. He said, "Oh, because he's going into this like it's a Pokemon fight." He's telling him, "Call off your dragon," calling off Charizard. Charizard's just sitting there like a fucking goofball, like not knowing what to do. When I've played a lot of the Pokemon games, I've read into like additional information. There's like a tight knit relationship between humanity and Pokemon. Like these two basically protect each other. It's like when I see that happen, and they only reduce the relationship between trainer or Pokemon to merely that instead of being like best friends that would fiercely protect each other. It's like insulting to me, basically.
But the difference is that you have to look at the character of the shows,
right?
Red, because they took Red from the games, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, it was Red.
So they took Red from the games versus Ty. And when Ty runs up and slugs Red, he's like, dude, what the F? So they were taking the personality of the characters from the shows. And when Red was like, dude, what are you doing? It's just a Pokemon battle. You have to take the personality of the shows into effect. And there have been some ones that I've definitely fucking disagreed with.
Right.
But you sit back and you kind of think about it and you're just like, personality of the show, is Red going to be like, Charizard, fucking fire, fuck his ass? I don't know what fucking Charizard's fucking thing is, dude. I haven't watched Pokemon since I was a kid. But no, Red's not going to do that. Red's not going to turn his Pokemon on a human. And in fact, it's out of character for Pokemon in a trainer's possession to turn on a human being. And so that's kind of the thing. I mean, and even if they fucking did, he had fucking War Greymon with, by the way, the things on his fucking hands, they're called Draymon Destroyers.
Like I said, I won't deny that. War Greymon coming into the fight was like, yeah, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, no, it's just, yeah. No, and that's...
I will say this, the meanest fight that they ever did, and they were wrong for this, is putting Raiden against Thor.
Ooh.
Yeah. They've done a few that were by popularity, because that's how they used to do it back in the day, was a popularity thing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things that fucking hell.
It's just not right, man. This ain't even right.
That was cold.
I fucking know the fucking attack names. I haven't watched Pokemon since I was a kid. But fuck, I gotta go to bed, you bastard. No.
So, well, yeah, you go ahead, boys. I was telling them that this is the guild with a twist now, so it's going to be a little different now.
Oh fuck!
So this is kind of what it's going to turn into. I'm guessing. It's just,
shit, dude! I like this whole fan debate shit. It's funny.
If we're going to become the guild with a twist, you need to change the picture from a duck to M. Night Shyamalan.
No.
Make the duck M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes,
the duck is M. Night
Shyamalan. M. Night Duckalon.
No, M. Quack Shyamalan.
M. Quack.
No, so no, I gotta admit this, man. I have like the last month. No. Yeah. I went down the anime rabbit hole. That's a bad rabbit hole to go down. Oh my god. Like I went down the anime rabbit hole and I'm just like, dude, I cleared 170 episodes of Black Clover in like a week and a half.
Yeah, we did that about 6 months ago.
I was like, well, I got done with it and I was like, I literally got done with that and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
In 2 weeks, we went through Overlord.
I tried Overlord. I could not fucking get into it.
Rise of the Shield Hero.
Oh, I caught up with that one. It's okay.
So the latest season, they
Darkish.
fucked that story up.
What were you saying? Rise of the Shield Hero and what else?
And we started Black Clover.
Yeah.
I like Black Clover a lot. Shield Hero pretty much lost me. I'm not going to return to it. It's not compelling. I just I don't find it compelling. I don't find the characters compelling anymore. It was interesting up to a point for me, and then it just didn't have that hook. I don't know what that hook is. That show should hook me in. It's got all the elements of hooking me in, but and then Overlord, I tried watching that one. I couldn't make it past the first. Here's the telltale, right? And this is stupid. This is so fucking stupid. If I put it on, it's because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lay down and go to bed, and I need noise in the room because I know I have fucking tinnitus. Because when the room is dead quiet, I have just an annoying, ear piercing, just tone in my ears because I have tinnitus because my fucking hearing damage. So I put something on to give some noise to the room. If I put an anime on and I'm watching it, and I usually stay awake through the first episode. If I can't fall asleep that night, the show's got me. If I fall asleep through it, the show doesn't have me. And Overlord, I went back, and then the next day I was like, oh, so I went back, restarted it, tried watching the first 3 or 4 or 5 episodes. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
See, that was me with My Hero Academia. I just after 3 episodes, I was like, I'm done.
Dude, I have watched that fucker like 4 times already.
I love My Hero.
Dude,
I love all
can't get into it.
No, I get it.
I love all of the anime that we're talking about right now. The one thing with Shield Hero is that last season they came out with, they cut a lot of the character growth out. There's a whole bunch of shit. Like all of the heroes lead up to that fight with the turtle. They go through a shit ton of character growth and everything. And like Ren starts to become like Ren pulls the sword hero. He pulls his hat up his ass and he becomes a full like Naofumi supporter almost. Fucking like there's so much.
Go ahead.
You guys are gonna keep me here for another hour. And I gotta go to bed.
You're talking to me, son. We will stay up all night.
4 o'clock in the morning. Well, guys, I gotta go to work. This is gonna be a great day. No, I get rested tomorrow, so that way I can do Iron Age nights because that's the thing. You gotta do that. You gotta do that thing tomorrow.
Of course.
Do your thing tomorrow.
All righty, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm sorry to crash the party and then leave, but you know how I do. Yeah, I blame you guys for I blame you guys for me. Can I do that? I'm just gonna do that. All right. It's your guys' fault. Later.
Later, Royce. Oh my goodness.
I will argue to get a conversation going.
Oh
Damn.
God.
40-minute argument about damn rock.
Jesus Christ.
Look, you want to hear old arguments that went on forever. You should have been around for the old, between me and Darkest, the old Superman versus Batman debates.
Oh God.
Did one of you two pull the whole, if Batman's prepared, he'll beat everybody?
No.
Yes, he did. Yes, you did. Yes, you fucking did.
I did not pull that one. I said Batman already has a plan for Superman. He's already got one.
Yeah, that plan is stupid and retarded.
It is. Now.
Batman's plans for the Justice League fucking retarded.
Yes. I'm in complete agreement with you now. So that doesn't even fucking matter anymore, right? I actually agree with you. But then, and like it always comes down to which universe are we talking about? Because if we're talking comic books, 100%, Superman gets it, 100%, in most of the universes. If we're talking cartoons, yeah, throw 50-50. A green rock at him.
50-50.
If you can get the green rock out fast enough, you can win.
But again, all it takes is him to heat vision.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Batman's got to move his arm. He's got to reach for the green rock. He's got to pop the thing. He's got to open the pocket that he's got to get the green rock in. He's got to get his hand on the green rock. That's a lot of time.
We're not doing this right now.
Yes, we.
We're not. No. Because, like I said, it depends on the universe. But I agree
See,
with you.
I got booted from a lot of Reddit forums because my take on the whole Venom versus Batman, and everybody in that. This was like 5, 6 years ago, and they were all like, "Well, Batman, if he's prepared, he has the Sonic thing." And I said, "No, Venom just steps in. Venom beats the bricks off of Batman. Batman has to learn, and by fight 3, Batman figures out that Venom's weak to Sonic." And
Look,
this is
that is
after this is
not.
after physically Batman has been beaten. This is after he's been webbed to the wall, and Batman figures
dies
it
in
out.
the first fight, though, because Venom will kill him.
So here's
Venom
the thing.
will-
Here's the thing.
yeah, but he doesn't.
This is one thing I will give Batman. It depends on when Batman we're talking about. There's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot in Batman to where he's nice and balanced between prep and able to think on his feet. Early Batman up to that point, and it's about Nightfallish into the early 90s. Well, not early 2000s stuff. Even then, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. There's a sweet spot up to that point to where he's nice and balanced because as he's younger, he's able to think on his feet, but he doesn't have the planning that he gets later. After a certain point, if Batman don't have a plan for it, he gets his ass whooped. That was a big thing about Hush, is with all of his villains just acting slightly out of their normal routines, they all damn near kill him.
But I'm saying it's Eddie Brock Venom, and I'm saying that Batman is resilient enough to survive the first meeting
It depends on
because he can think
See,
on his
here's
feet
the thing.
quicker than a lot of normal people.
Here's the thing.
No, he doesn't. He reacts faster. He doesn't think quicker than that. If anyone thinks quicker, it's Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. That's part of the reason that Batman can't really beat Deathstroke, because Batman thinks quicker than he does. I mean, Slade thinks quicker than he does, and Slade's only got 2,000 pounds of strength, or 2 tons of strength. Venom, though, Venom is not as good of a fighter, but he's got 50 tons of strength.
Right.
It depends on when we're talking about Venom.
Yeah,
I was talking early Eddie Brock.
Early Eddie Brock?
Yeah, early Eddie Brock.
Okay. If it's early Eddie Brock, Batman.
Yeah,
Batman could make it against early Eddie Brock. If it's the symbiote has more control over at the time, no, Batman doesn't heal ever because he at least gets every bone in his body broken. Because the thing to remember is that Eddie Brock and Venom still fight and beat the brakes off of Superman, who is Spider-Man, who is generally a 10-tonner, to 5 to 10 tonner,
10 to 25.
He's never been that far. He's never been that.
Yeah,
far.
No, he's 25 now.
But we're still. I'm saying generally.
Generally, I mean that was like in the 80s, 90s, early 90s when he was like
even into the 2000s. He's been 10 to 15 for a while. He's not. I don't think he's ever been.
He's been consistently like his max is 25.
I will disagree on that one, but
anyway,
because his biggest feat was squatting up a damn, holding up a building and everything, but that was using every muscle in his body, and that's squatting up. You can squat more lightweight than you can press lift, and straight and generally speaking, across Marvel and DC, they judge strength by press lifting, not squat.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go base 15. We'll go mid range 15, and but still, that's 15 tons of strength that Eddie Brock beats the brakes off of, versus Batman's 800 pounds of strength. Batman has to use his explosives to hurt Venom or sonic weapons. He has to. After you know how to fight Venom, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. By at least the second or third encounter, Batman beats the shit out of Venom quickly.
I disagree because he very well has every bone in his body broken. And he's not ever healing from it.
Yeah.
He had his back broken by Bane.
That's one bone. I'm talking every bone. You have to remember like every.
If we're talking like first encounter Spider-Man or Lethal Protector Venom, either one of those, like because they're about the same time period. Yeah, Batman's not walking out of that one.
Yeah, Hale just said exactly what I was just going to say. You have to consider whether or not Batman might even survive this first round. If he doesn't, then it's kind of a moot point. Some fights might even have a second round.
That's why I say if you say early Venom, Venom will kill him. Venom will not hold back against him. If we're talking modern Venom, modern Eddie, where the symbiote is cured of its insanity, then sure.
Well, then,
but Venom's at his most powerful now. He's just the symbiote's not crazy anymore.
I was saying that Batman is at least would figure out real quick that Venom is a stronger opponent, and he needs to keep his distance and get the hell out of there.
I mean, if he got out of there, he would come back with his bat armor, and Venom would peel him out of it. That's what would happen.
He would
peel him out of it. If Batman survived that fight, and managed to escape that one, what's he going to pull out next? That's the question. Because unless certain situation is situational, if you find out Venom is weak to
Sonic
energy.
Sonic.
Yeah. You better be lucky.
That's very situational. Spider-Man got lucky with it. Spider-Man got very lucky with it.
Spider-Man gets lucky a lot.
Yeah. Like, he got extremely lucky fighting Venom.
That's kind of a superpower.
Of course, then you got...
That's kind of one of Spider-Man's superpowers.
Then you got Ultimate Captain America in a Black Panther costume punching Venom in the face. So,
man, I need to pick up these Ultimate comics.
That's right. I couldn't remember how Bruce had Batman. Bruce in the comics had his back healed by healing powers in the comics. It wasn't even it wasn't like medicine. It was healing powers.
Ronan, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. You might want to stop before Volume 3. If you are reading Ultimates, stop before Volume 3.
Stop before you get to Ultimatum.
Yeah. Stop before that.
Okay.
Red Hood versus
Pretend the universe dies right there. Stop reading it.
I have to respond to this. Red Hood versus Venom is an even worse fight. Jason would be peeled like a fucking onion against Venom.
Guns don't work on Venom.
Okay? No, they
Guns
don't.
are pretty useless now.
You know who does win against Venom? Fucking Barbara Gordon is Oracle.
Yes. Because she calls
Superman. You know what she does? She calls in Superman. She calls in Green Lantern. She calls in the big guns to fight Venom.
You know who she does? She says, "Hey, Dinah, will you scream real quick?"
Yeah. Black Canary wins against Venom.
Skip Black Canary.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
That's her opening move.
Yep. Just scream right at fucking Venom's face. There you
Red
go.
Hood ain't shit. Hell. Red Hood ain't shit.
Red Hood's a fucking bitch. Nightwing used to beat his ass for fun.
Yeah, it ain't it. That ain't even a fair fight, man. And nothing we've talked about tonight has been a fair fight. Like we got to come up with some shit for next week.
If the only Red Hood that has a chance against Venom is the one from Gotham Knights, where he has bullshit Lazarus Pit powers. Only time he wins.
Oh. Yeah, we got to come up with some new arguments next week. We got to come up with something fucking ridiculous.
How about the argument that? Well, never mind. I'll leave it.
Oh God.
I've created enough trouble tonight.
Yeah, you have. Bringing that shit up and we start talking about it, and then the damn argument breaks out.
That's why you keep me around.
But you know what would even be a worse fight than Venom against Batman?
Oh no.
Kane.
Oh,
Yep. Kane, the big clone of Peter Parker. Daredevil beats Batman without his utility belt.
There's too damn many Spider-Man.
these fights fucking go nowhere, man. These fights just go nowhere.
These
Oh,
we
God.
spent 40 minutes arguing about Rocky versus Tommy. Because it started off of a ridiculous fight that we watched that made more sense.
I can't even.
But it was interesting.
It was definitely interesting. I'm wondering.
I'll say this: these arguments, at the very least, are more constructive than when I fight with dudes online regarding. You guys know the whole SCP Foundation thing? Do you guys know about that at all?
Oh God!
These fights are more These fights that I'm having with you guys are more constructive than those, because it just literally amounts to basically my cosmic daddy can beat your cosmic daddy. I'm just like, they're both fucking overpowered, like gods, basically. I don't give a shit at this point anymore. Okay, it's two kids having a fight in a fucking schoolyard. All right, go whatever. Enjoy your fun with that. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Here's how you.
I have more fun with this.
Here's how you beat the entire SCP Foundation. You get Adam Warlock with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes, yes, I will accept that. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
You ain't even got to go that big. You don't even have to go that big.
Some of you for the big alligator thing, you kind of do. The big alligator thing is fucking
682, the indestructible alligator. Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you guys are talking about.
I mean,
that's
Superman throws it into a fucking sun, and the gravity holds it there.
That dude can regenerate. That's the problem, though. Is that
it regenerates in the fucking sun? It doesn't matter. Does it teleport when it regenerates?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, you throw it into the sun, it stays in the sun.
Here's the thing. Somewhere, somehow, they'd sit there and say, well, he'd somehow eat the sun or absorb the energy from the sun and get bigger. You have to just wipe it. You have to like completely go bullshit with it.
Okay.
Actually,
here's the rules. You got to get rid of it. Okay.
So here's how you.
Okay, so Reed Richards throws it into the other dimension that he put all the criminals from Civil War into.
No, here, I'll just be even meaner with it. The Spectre.
Okay. Or Scarlet Witch just
no.
For a second.
Probably not Scarlet Witch.
No, and no.
See how it ends it.
Now here's a hypothetical I want to know is like which hero you could just take out. You could have to take out the Scarlet King. Now that's the one I want to figure out.
The who?
Oh, okay. I thought you might have known a little bit more, Atra. No, but the Scarlet King, that's another SCP, basically. It's
the Spectre.
Evil guy.
Either way,
the Spectre, all right.
I mean, either way, it's a Spectre.
I mean, he's going to say the Spectre, and I'm going to say Lucifer Morningstar.
Actually, I'm going to go with Darkish. Let's go with Lucifer.
I mean, the Spectre is enough.
Yeah, either one wins that fight.
The Spectre wipes out universes because somebody went there and they weren't supposed to be.
And Lucifer creates multiverses. So,
God damn it, Hale! Shut up with Dr. Manhattan. We're done with that shit.
Yeah. No, man, that was 6 months ago.
Dr. Manhattans.
That was 6 months ago. Let that shit go.
I mean, let him enjoy his little teeny Smurf dick.
Oh my God! Enough of the blue Smurf dick, man.
We don't even know her powers, but we'll just say Yaira beats all of the SCPs.
That's good with me.
She got ice powers, man.
Yaira's got ice powers. She's basically an ancient alien.
She's Starfire with ice powers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. She's been around.
Wait. She's Frostbird.
Boom. But yeah.
D&D campaign.
Don't tempt me. Don't fucking tempt me to do that again.
If you do it again, I will pray to Bane to bring heat to that damn place. And I will sacrifice a village to do it.
Oh, Frostburn. I love that game.
And Bane answers the damn prayer.
I
Oh,
love that
man.
game.
All right. On that note, guys, I gotta go ahead and actually clock out myself.
Yeah. Only this man, Ronan, would enjoy a game that's nothing but snow hell.
That vaguely sounds like fun.
It's fun until you realize that sometimes somebody's gonna punch a hole into a goddamn iceberg so you can actually sleep at night.
All right, stop. I can only get so erect from hearing this now.
I was the one who had to do it. Because the druid was sitting there being retarded. The paladin couldn't problem solve to save her life. The fighter fought everything with a fucking spear.
What's funny? Now, what's actually funny about that is I've ran that game twice. In both games, the damn fighter was a fucking fighter with a spear. Both games.
Oh man.
The second time I ran it did not last long.
And you have reach. Why would you not use a spear?
Because it breaks.
What, you think a longsword doesn't ever fucking break?
Well, here's the thing. Why would you use a spear when you could just use a halberd and get the best of both worlds?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they didn't min-max. I'm just, if you're going to do that, just use a glaive.
But they weren't built to even use a spear, really. They weren't built for it. But we're talking about a dude that walked down ice stairs, would almost die falling downstairs. His character.
That's because you made us roll a deck save on the stairs, you dick.
They were ice. Anyway.
And I still have to sit there and say, what tavern would still have their stairs covered with ice? The fucking tavern. They probably salted that shit. I was just too damn annoyed in the Frost game to call your ass out on it.
I think it was a dungeon. It wasn't
a dungeon. It was the fucking tavern. We were 2 minutes into it. We were walking.
Okay. Was Damien getting on my nerves at the time? That's the question you need to ask.
No, you asked everybody to roll it.
Oh my god, it's quirky.
I succeeded. Lois almost failed. She didn't crit fail. She failed, but she just slipped on it and ended up in the snow.
We summoned Quirky talking about D&D.
Damien fucking fell and busted his ass because you made him roll damage for each and every step he hit. And it was like 6 steps was all, and he fucking almost died from it. Me and Bruce were the only ones that actually made it. But mind you, I fucking succeeded in that game. My character was so damn min-maxed, even at that low ass level. I succeeded on damn near anything on it, like if it was an 8.
Oh.
Uh,
Jesus.
No, it was just me being a dick. Quirky.
Exactly, you being a dick. 100%. Sometimes it was luck, like we were trying to fly in fucking hyperspace, and you're like, hey, roll a peril check. Pilot built the hell, rolling ones. Except when it's come time to fix shit with tape. Here I am, like, how the fuck do we get out of this? Well, I guess my ass has to sit down here and try to force grip the goddamn ship so we don't bounce and destroy ourselves against the fucking hyperspace walls. Because you're being a dick.
And I had done that every Star Wars game. That has been something that happens.
Meanwhile, we've got the Imperial agent, the Imperial officer in the back, fucking fast asleep.
Narcoleptic Imperial agent.
Trying to get us all killed each and every goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking is the crazy ass goddamn day.
Ronan, you still here?
I got
yeah, I'm still here.
I'll tell you this, Ronan. I'll tell you this, Ronan. I got mine though when we busted out templates, and he made himself a fucking grabby fucking mind flare. I got fucking mine when we PvP'd that shit repeatedly. I got fucking mine. I kicked his ass so many times it pissed him off.
I had a one-hit kill Mind Flayer and it didn't work.
Good. Mind Flayers suck, man. Hate them.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with a fucking dreadnought templated blackguard wielding a sword that if it critted on hitting an angel, they would explode.
All right, guys. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and check out.
Later, Ronan.
Later.
All right, so that'll be $5.95. There's a tip.
All right, I'll pay you 10.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to think about an argument for next week.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Give me time.
It don't have to be an argument. It can be a debate.
What are we debating?
I don't know yet.
We don't plan these things out very well. We just end up.
I'm just saying for all of us to be in on. Not, Eric starts some shit and then stays quiet the whole damn argument.
That was fun for me because Royce took my side and I just let Royce argue. He argues better than I do.
And here I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. It's like the smartest retarded conversation I've ever heard. Because it was like, no. The putties weigh at least 500 pounds because of just breaking it down into science. Like,
they're space putties.
Drago hit for fucking
right
2,500 psi.
Well, I will say the only reason why I bring that up is just because it's Rocky IV was meant to be ridiculous.
Yes, it was. And all this started from fucking some retarded shit that we watched.
Yes,
it turned out good for Rocky, but we were still calling it retarded, like just because of the situation. It was like none of that works. Like it doesn't work against Rocky. Rocky gonna get his hands on Danny, and Danny gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. He gonna punch Danny so hard that what's the little fat kid? That's how the fat kid lost weight. Rocky hit Danny so hard that the little fat kid lost all his weight.
Jesus. God damn it.
Hey, Quirky has a great question. When are we going to be playing D&D again?
I don't know. I do not have an answer for that.
Well, I guess on that note, I have to get up early in the morning too.
Later, man.
I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. You guys have a good night.
All right, you're gonna bounce out like
me on and allowing me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bounce out like a jack.
I was gonna say, are you gonna bounce out like a Slinky or a Super Bowl?
You gonna bounce like a check.
I'm going to bounce like a check.
Actually, that's what he said, but that's just what I was going to say. I was determined to get my dumbass comment out.
All right, Atro, Darkish, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for having me on.
Later. Hey, Quirky, watch with the caps locks on it because it will pick it up as YouTube will pick it up as spam.
Some people like spam on bread.
No,
I didn't say I did.
But no, YouTube will pick a bunch of caps locks up as spam. So. I don't want you getting, banned from the channel and then me not even knowing it. Like
straight to jail. So
I gotta fix shit, I don't want to have to call you. That's the mood you're in. Okay. I just don't want to have to call YouTube to get you brought back in because you weren't spamming. Ask Eric about what happened with him. he was pressing a bunch of he had set his keyboard down and then he spammed a bunch of fucking letters. He got banned from Royce's channel and he couldn't respond in mine. Okay. He couldn't respond to anybody's channels that he normally responds into.
Straight to jail.
Straight to fucking YouTube jail. And Royce had to take it off because it happened in his chat. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're going to end it here. We were on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube tonight. So we might do this again. Fuck YouTube, Rumble's where it's at. Fuck Rumble. Till Rumble gets better.
We just need to get you on locals.
Fuck locals.
Really slut it up.
Look, it's bad enough I got it gilded. It's basically the same fucking thing as Discord. Only people can subscribe to it. You know, like as a member instead of giving YouTube monies.
I just think I just said locals because I know it's not, but it just sounds like something for escorts.
It does.
Hey, would you like to meet locals tonight? Come on. We'll hook you up with plenty of locals in your area. It's the Craigslist for fucking. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Like, no Twitter jail, guys. No Twitter jail. Let's see.
Look, I'm here until I'm kicked out. Oh no. Look, I'm gonna be like this virus that shall not be named. I'm gonna be hanging on until you get me out completely. Completely gone.
Bye, Quirky. All right, yeah, we about to end it. Anyway, we've been at this about 2.5 hours. So, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. You know, whatever. That's my fucking pitch. I don't care. Yeah, locals is trash. I don't like locals. I do like it always like notifies people, but other than that, I don't like it.
Locals is kind of trash unless you already have a following. Well, all of us already have a following. We just sit on it most of the time. Yeah. No. Okay.
I don't know what the schedule is going to look like for next week, guys. So,
like
I'll keep you. I'll let everybody know.
Gonna look like a train wreck.
Probably a train wreck, yes. So yeah, there's that.
With a side of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's still too early for that.
Never too early. It's never too early.
No. I mean on the timer. It's still too early for those kind of jokes.
What about us having shit going wrong with your stomach?
Yep. You never can tell what YouTube will pick up and say, "Oh, fuck them." Algorithm hates me already, so.
Well, don't be a dick.
We ended on that, guys. I did find a mod to make Fear and Hunger not have the dicks. The first one only, though. I don't know about playing the first one.
I'm not. If it's too early for Taco Bell jokes, it can't. It's way too early for what I was about to say. Way too early for what I was about to say that.
Nah, I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, it's late. So we gone. Let everybody.
You've been saying we gone for like the last 10 minutes.
I
and you ain't-
know, goddamn.
You
I
ain't
know.
succeeded yet.
I know. I ain't hit the red button yet, or giant pink button. All right. Cold closing. Later, guys.
Manchester.